swallowed me whole. Was I actually dreaming all along? I thought about staring at the dog. Just then the door swung open and the man who had brought me to the house earlier stepped into the room. He bowed deeply to the dog. Without a sound, the beast turned and padded out of the room, disappearing into the shadows. The man straightened and turned to me. "I know you're scared," he said at last, his voice calm yet firm. I sat frozen on the bed, my heart still racing. "But I assure you," he continued, "if you love him unconditionally and he becomes a stable human, you will be rewarded abundantly. Then the choice will be yours, whether to stay with him or not." His gaze darkened slightly. "But there are certain rules you must follow." I swallowed hard, my throat dry. "Rules?" The man took a step closer, his expression unreadable. "Break them, and there will be consequences." I clenched my fists. What are the rules?" He studied me for a moment, as if deciding whether I was even worthy of knowing. Then he spoke. "First, you must never attempt to leave this house again." My chest tightened. "Second, you must never reject him." I shuddered at the thought. "Third, you must never, under any circumstances, look at him when he is changing." My breath caught. Changing. The man's gaze darkened. "If you break these rules, you won't have to worry about choosing whether to stay or leave, because you won't be alive to make that choice." A cold chill ran down my spine. I wanted to scream, to argue, to demand answers, but I couldn't, because deep down I knew this wasn't a warning. It was a promise. Silence stretched between us, thick and suffocating. My fingers twisted the sheets beneath me, my pulse hammering in my ears. I wanted to ask why. Why me? Why these rules? What would happen if I broke them? But I already knew the answer. I wouldn't survive it. The man sighed, his sharp gaze softening just slightly. "You may think of this as a prison," he said, "but it doesn't have to be. If you obey, if you earn his favor, life here will be bearable. Bearable. Not good, not free, just bearable." A lump formed in my throat, but I forced myself to nod. What else could I do? Satisfied, he turned toward the door. "Rest now. He will expect you at dinner." He didn't wait for me to respond. The door closed behind him with a soft click, leaving me, Amelia, with my thoughts. My body trembled as I stared at the room around me. It was luxurious, far better than anything I'd ever had at home, but it felt like a beautifully decorated cage. But anyways, it's much more preferable than my own family. I wasn't free. I had been claimed, and tonight at dinner I would have to face him again. That thought settled deep inside me. Maybe if I did what they asked, if I loved him unconditionally, if I followed the rules, he would be free. And maybe, just maybe, I would be free too. The idea clung to me like a fragile thread of hope. If there was even the slightest chance that this nightmare had an ending, then I had to try. But could I really love a monster? I clenched my fists. I had to, because if setting him free was my only way out, then I would do whatever it took. Even if it meant losing myself in the process. That night the mansion felt even colder. A maid arrived at my room, silent and efficient, laying out a dress for me. It was deep red, smooth as silk, and far too elegant for someone like me. "You must wear this," she said softly, avoiding my gaze. I hesitated. "What happens if I don't?" She flinched, actually flinched. I got my answer. Wordlessly, I slipped into the dress. It fit perfectly, as if it had been made just for me. The maid led me down endless corridors, each step heavier than the last. By the time we reached the dining hall, my heart was pounding so hard I thought I might collapse. The room was grand, massive chandeliers, velvet drapes, a long table set with silverware that gleamed under the candlelight, but I barely noticed any of it, because at the far end of the table he was waiting. He wasn't in his beast form now. He looked huge.